Then I took a smidge and applied it down there.
This one's wife. Ingriftus, Facehugger alert. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Well, day one arrived, and with it a multiplicity of events demonstrating once again that this one's wife has to place herself at the centre of these games, making it the This One's Wife games. Entirely predictable. Apparently, these games are meant to be something to do with some veterans, although you'd be hard-pressed to realise that, given the way that This One's Wife has already taken over matters. There is plenty to unpack, whether it is the way that she has taken over the event already, the 4 clothes changes in one day, the fact that she was wearing clothing that was more suited to the summer when it's winter. But parking those for the moment, we're going to begin with the Facehugger. I've warned you about the Facehugger before. The Facehugger is a small creature that is comparable to a chelicellata arthropod, such as, for instance, arachnids and horseshoe crabs. They are beige in colour, possessing 4 pairs of appendages, resembling a pair of skeletal hands fused together, which allows them to crawl rapidly, inserting themselves into situations where they're not wanted. There is a long spine-like tail that is often disguised, utilised for making great leaps into the centre of pictures. Facehuggers lack visible eyes, often appearing to have dead eyes, and any real facial features, except for a single orifice located on the creature's underside, which houses an ovipositor to insert the alien embryo. Now, you might wonder, am I talking about the facehuggers from the Alien films, or am I talking about This One's Wife? For the similarity is pretty distinct, isn't it? But I'm actually talking this time about This One's Wife as she goes into full facehugger mode, demonstrating her parasitic nature as she utilizes a moment of being seen to pursue the prime aims. There is a short piece of footage demonstrating this, so let's have a look at it. You may want to try and keep the contents of anything that you've eaten down whilst viewing this short piece of footage. Any feelings of nausea you may have will shortly subside. Concentrate on your glorious narrator's voice instead. What we see there, in the short clip, is taken naturally from the Ingriftus games, whereby Harry has been announced to go and speak. Now you'll notice that he initially leans in towards her for the purposes of giving her a kiss. Her hands come up either side of his face, she kisses him, he turns away, and off he goes. The First Nation individual in the background looks suitably unimpressed by this display of public affection, no doubt thinking, good Lord, I'm going to yak up my hot dog that I consumed earlier, or appropriate piece of food that he had consumed. What are we witnessing there? First of all, it is naturally the assertion of control. The physical assertion of control by This One's Wife over the intimate partner primary source. As you have come to understand through my work, Harry is on her radar because he is next to her. Her narcissism needs to ensure that control is asserted over him. It instinctively utilizes the choice of the first assertion of control, which is direct, and amongst all of the direct methods of control available, it goes for the physical. So she puts her hands either side of his face and kisses him. The fact that he kisses her also provides her with positive fuel and signals to her subconsciously that he is under control. Therefore, the narcissism has got what it requires vis-a-vis Harry. There's also other elements at work here. You may also have seen the kiss that took place when This one's wife engaged in some beige flapping of the gums as she introduced "my husband," unable to refer to Harry by his name, always indicating the objectification of Harry and her possessiveness over him. She refers to him as "my husband," and then engages in a similar kiss. It has been pointed out that this is a technique that's utilised for the purposes of ensuring that attention goes on to you as the kisser, because you're basically hiding the face of the other person. It's overly affectionate. This is a married couple who've been married for a number of years. And with her, as we know, not only is everything that she does performative, but it often doesn't fit with the circumstances. It's often too much, incongruous, or sometimes completely inappropriate. Now, giving your husband a kiss before he goes to give a speech isn't something that's completely out of there. But this type of kiss is, because it's excessive, grabbing his face and kissing him in that way. Not only is it the physical manifestation of control, but it's also done to make it her as the centre of things. Look at me, see how affectionate I am. I am the facehugger, the parasite that latches on to poor old Harry, who thinks, well, I'll lean in and give her a kiss, it's the right thing to do, because he knows that if he doesn't, well, it's bottom spanking time and the old pink pods will be turned into pink pancakes. But no, that's not enough for this one's wife. She not only has to demonstrate that he belongs to her, but she has to ensure that everybody can see just how kind and affectionate and loving she is, that she is the ideal wife, by essentially deleting him from the scene, so she is the one that is seen. It's also worth pointing out that in effect here, Harry is working. He's the patron of the Invictus Games and he's about to go and give a speech. So it's rather inappropriate to carry on like some teenagers at the ball game who've been caught on the kiss cam. But of course, this one's wife doesn't give two shits about the fact that this is meant to be a professional appearance by Harry. All that matters is her being seen, is her being witnessed, is her being observed as the supposedly perfect wife. With this one's wife, she thinks she's in a film. She thinks that this is some kind of light American romantic comedy that she is involved in, whereby she has to give her husband an overly performative kiss, because her narcissism causes her to believe that everything that she does is of moment. Private matters aren't private to her. They're always available to be shown to the world, because by doing so, that gets a greater return vis-a-vis the prime aims. More control, more fuel, more facade management. Although Harry leans in to this one's wife, you'll notice that it's almost under protest. He doesn't touch her, he stands rather stiff, he doesn't put his arms around her, she is the one that face hugs him. Those spindly skeletal appendages coming out to grasp his head as she ensures that she plants her lips, possibly putting in some of the alien eggs inside of him at the time. This method of control, the way that she invariably grabs him, we've seen time and time again, where she's always reaching, or repeatedly reaching for Harry. Reaching to grab his hand, reaching to push him in the back, reaching to take hold of him. And you'll also notice that in this short clip, that not only do we see the overly performative kiss, which is the assertion of control, but as he turns away, notice there's the little push on the back. On you go, you are released. I give you permission to go and talk. Patronising, controlling. She can't help herself. It's an instinctive response to continue to control him in the next moment by putting her hand on his back. We see it, and it looks pathetic. And it demonstrates how she basically treats him like a child. Good boy, Harry, you've received your kiss from me. Now, off you go. That's it. Down that way. Yes, down the stairs. Well done. Of course, what you're also witnessing is a hefty dose of facade management. Look at me. Look how me and my husband are so in love. All of you haters out there talking about us being separated and divorced. Raspberries to you all. We have an idyllic marriage. See, we are in love, for I facehug him, and that tells you that we are in love. A sickening display of public affection by this one's wife, failing to recognise boundaries, failing to respect the fact that Harry is working, asserting control through a physical means of kissing him, pushing him in the back. You can see the First Nation gentleman suitably be unimpressed by what's going on. And just in that small clip, we get so much of her narcissism on display. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for watching.